Hi, and welcome to the lecture on run-ons. What is a run-on? A run-on is two or more sentences combined without proper punctuation, coordination, or subordination. I like to think of them as smooshed together. Slow it down. Let's review basic sentence structure. What is a sentence? A sentence is the expression of a thought, usually consisting of a subject and a predicate. The subject is the person or thing being discussed. The predicate contains the verb. Example, the Saints won, period. In this sentence, Saints is the subject, won is the verb. There are two types of run-ons, and they occur when sentence boundaries are not being adhered to. A fused sentence is one type, and a comma splice is another type. A fused sentence is two or more sentences that are connected. It's the smooshed sentence. Example, the Saints won the Super Bowl, the fans cheered loudly. In this sentence, two sentences are actually pushed together to make one sentence because the capital T begins the sentence and I have one end punctuation only, but I actually have two subjects and two verbs and they are smooshed together. How do we fix this? There are multiple ways to fix a run-on. First, find where one sentence ends and another one begins. Here, it's after the word Super Bowl and before the word, the second the. The first way to fix it is to just add the end punctuation and make two sentences. Example, the Saints won the Super Bowl, period. The fans cheered loudly, period. Here we've created two sentences. The second way to fix a run-on is to use coordination with a semicolon. Example, the Saints won the Super Bowl, semicolon. The fans cheered loudly, period. A third way to fix a run-on fused sentence is to use coordination with a comma and one of the coordinating conjunctions. Example, the Saints won the Super Bowl, comma, and the fans cheered loudly. In this example, the comma and the word and, which is a coordinating conjunction, have been added in the middle of the sentence here to fix the fused sentence into one complete sentence, coordination or compound sentence. The fourth and final way to fix a run-on is to use subordination. That's creating a complex sentence. So first you need to figure out which subordinating conjunction to use. In this instance, I chose when. When the Saints won the Super Bowl, comma, the fans cheered loudly. I've added the subordinating conjunction when, and because I've created a dependent clause in the beginning, I must add the comma to separate the two clauses. The other type of run-on is the comma splice. Comma splice refers to the use of the comma instead of end punctuation to connect two sentences. Overusing commas or using them incorrectly often creates a comma splice. They're easy to fix. Use the same four ways as fused sentences. So the example of a comma splice sentence is this. The Saints won the Super Bowl, comma. The fans cheered loudly, period. You'll notice here that the comma was added without a proper coordinating conjunction, creating a comma splice. And the four ways to fix run-ons for this sentence is the same as before. Number one, just add the end punctuation and make two sentences. The second way is to use coordination with a semicolon. The third way is to use coordination with a comma plus one of those coordinating conjunctions, fanboys. The final way is to use subordination. How do you identify run-ons? Often, if you read sentences and paragraphs out loud, you can hear the pause. A pause signals that something belongs there usually. So please read your sentences and paragraphs and essays out loud, hear the errors, and refer to the rules of grammar and writing to fix your errors. Let's look at a couple of examples and see if we can fix these run-ons here. The first one. She was so excited she couldn't wait to tell everyone. Period. He learned to walk, comma. He learned to talk. Period. Let's think about this for a minute before I go on to the next slide. As you can see, the first example is a fused sentence. There are two subjects and two verbs smooshed together, creating this fused sentence. She was is the first subject verb. She couldn't wait is the second subject and verb. So somewhere around here is where you would separate one independent clause from the other independent clause and use one of the four ways to fix this fused sentence run-on. And the second example, this comma here is being used without any coordinating conjunction. So we must fix this using one of the four ways to fix run-ons. This is an example of a comma splice. And this ends our lecture on run-ons.